Women and men especially, like, we grew up thinking that a rapist is like a scary dark man in a trench coat who's gonna jump out of a bush and rape you. There's no conversations about how it could be a person in your band or a person you've maybe gone on a date with. So Good Night Out, our whole mandate is to reduce harassment and assault on nights out. So we work mostly with bars or with places that have bands or music festivals. A report came out with some very high statistics around sexual assaults that happen in the Central Business District in Vancouver. The Street Team is a project that operates on the Granville Strip, which has a high concentration of really mainstream clubs where a lot of young people go. And so the Street Team is out from midnight to 3 a.m. and they just wander the street, they wander the public, they support people. There's oftentimes people who are really drunk and they've been separated from their friends, and because unfortunately there are people who prey upon the really intoxicated, often young woman who's all by herself. And on average they were helping about 30 people a night. For the criminal code to stick, for charges to actually be laid, 4 requirements have to be met, and one of them is that the person has to know that they were making you feel unsafe, which, due to patriarchy and rape culture, a lot of times these people actually think they're giving you a compliment. So that requirement on its own would be very hard to meet. And also just the general emotional distress that it causes isn't enough for it to be taken seriously by the courts. At the core, harassment is about power, right? It's about a person exerting power over another person, either because that person's female or because that person's not white, is what it's about. So anything you can do to interrupt that power dynamic is really valuable. And so I am a big fan of like just a distraction. So coming in and doing something totally ridiculous to break up the moment, like if you're out at a club or somewhere, just like get in there and start dancing really stupid, or butt in and just be like, hey, do you know what DJ this is? Do you know what time the next DJ goes on? Have you been here before? Where are the washrooms? I can't seem to find them. And just like hammer them with questions, and then often that you'll have interrupted that power dynamic enough that the person who's doing the harassing will be like, I'm out of here, you weirdo. The highlight is definitely the people that I've met and the friends that I've met. Talking about sexual violence so much and being exposed to it is absolutely exhausting, and there's no amount of like money that would make it worth it to do it. So you have to be doing it with other people of all genders that you have a connection with, or otherwise it'll be a terrible time. There is no benchmark for whether feminist activism has been a success. I think people are starting to realize that violence against women is everybody's business and we need to start talking about it. And even if it's negatively, we must be ruffling some feathers, which needs to happen, so I'll take it.